Good afternoon. Healthcare and medical education is under attack due to the actions of a few who do not share the view of our mission to improve the health and well-being of Eastern North Carolina. Yesterday, the Senate's proposed budget included language to eliminate Vidant Health's ability to be reimbursed as a primary affiliated teaching hospital for the Brody School of Medicine at East Carolina University. The change would result in a $35 million annual cut to Vidant's bottom line. It will affect our ability to provide the compassionate, patient-centered care and community investment that this region both deserves and depends on. It will affect our ability, our mutually beneficial and long-standing relationship with the Brody School of Medicine at East Carolina University. This cut, if approved, will go into effect July 1. In spite of this, we will continue our commitment as the partner of Brody School of Medicine, and we will continue the support to support the education environment for medical student residents and fellows, to include our great pirate nurses. This is our home, and we're committed to always standing up for what is right and necessary to improve the health and well-being of the people of Eastern North Carolina. We're calling on our friends, our neighbors, community leaders, and elected officials to help in this fight for Eastern North Carolina. Concerned citizens should contact their senators before Thursday, May 30th, 2019, and ask them to protect Eastern North Carolina from the state budget cuts. Contact information is available at standupforenc.org. Thank you.
Thank you, and I just want to thank our board and always appreciate our board and their commitment to Eastern North Carolina. And we sit in this room often and ask ourselves, how do we meet our mission to improve the health and well-being of Eastern North Carolina? And in answering that question, we have and will continue to meet the challenges that face this beautiful region and the rapidly changing healthcare environment. We do not think that these budget cuts are the best things for us, Eastern North Carolina, the Brody School of Medicine, or ECU. We do not understand why they are being proposed. Our affiliation for 40 years with the ECU Brody School of Medicine remains intact and will remain intact if these cuts go through on July 1st, as you've just heard. We hope that our legislators from Eastern North Carolina will help us stop these cuts, because they understand, like our board, what our communities need. And lastly, I just implore our physicians, nurses, team members to do what they do every day to work together to meet the needs of our communities, which requires collaboration between all of the components of our organization, whether it's Eastern ECU, physicians, Vidant Medical Group, nurses, and other professionals, to provide health care to one of the most difficult healthcare environments in the United States. So with that, I'll close and we'll open it up for questions.
Dr. Waldron, when y'all considering the changes in governance, why did you not turn to the Articles of Affiliation, which said if a change is considered, you should reach out and work with the Board of Governors to make those changes? It was said that before amending the affiliation, or if wanting to end the partnership. So why wasn't that done?
The Articles of Governance are in the transfer agreement between Pitt County and Vidant Health were the parties. And as you know, the UNC Board of Governors and ECU have recently entered into a lawsuit, and so can't comment about the lawsuit specifically to answer the question. However, importantly, the parties, our side and their side, agreed to a mediation process to resolve the differences. And we're hopeful and we're committed to working collaboratively with them to resolve their concerns, which we think they have some valid concerns, but we want to make sure that our concerns are also heard. And so we're committed to working with them through that process. That's why we really, the other thing, don't understand these cuts, considering that yesterday these cuts were put in the Senate budget. But at the same time, our legal teams agreed to a process to resolve those issues.
Did you sort of see these changes coming or the budget cuts coming after that lawsuit started?
No. We're very surprised.
Any other questions?
Yeah, you said that you didn't anticipate some of the actions that have come forward. What did you think was going to take place when y'all changed a over 40-year relationship?
Well, I think that, as I mentioned, our board always looks at what's the right thing to do, and we work collaboratively with the Pitt County Commissioners, and importantly, both of those groups unanimously approved these changes, including 100% of the UNC Board of Governors appointees, which is part of the process. You have to have 85% or more, and we had 100%. And so we had hoped that, considering we made appropriate and best governance changes, that they would have worked with us, and we did not anticipate that people would take actions that would damage Eastern North Carolina. So we are surprised by that.
So, right here, sir. With this coming out yesterday in the proposed budget, have you had any conversations with any of the Senate leadership in regards to your concerns?
Oh, yes.
And could you elaborate a little bit more on those conversations? How did
We are voicing our concerns. We're hopeful that the Eastern delegation is supporting the East. They know our environment like we do, and so there is a receptive ear, and we respect their position, and they're listening to us, and so, but the outcome we don't know yet because the vote will be coming in the next day or two.
What can be done to change this? Is it just citizens reaching out, or what is the solution?
Yeah, well, I think that our legislators need to hear the voice of Eastern North Carolina, and if they think this is the wrong thing, they need to let them know that. And if they think it's the right thing, then they need to, to be heard. And hopefully, people understand that this kind of cut will not help further the mission of Brody School of Medicine, Vidant Health, or the care that we provide in Eastern North Carolina. And with that, I want to just to give you an idea of, here's an email I got literally at 2:46, so less than an hour ago. It's from a nurse who has a master's degree in nursing as an RN. And it says, "Good afternoon, I'm a registered nurse that works in Eastern North Carolina. I'm concerned the potential cuts of our region. Patients here in Eastern North Carolina already have difficulties with access to health care, and I'm concerned that further budget cuts will only hurt our ability to provide care to all the patients that very much need our help. We want what is best for our communities, and our potential to grow and thrive is being jeopardized with these cuts to our rural population. Please help us to keep our patients first in our journey to improve health care in Eastern North Carolina." And so we know our nurses, this is not actually a Vidant nurse, but the people that are providing care know the environment that we work in and that we're trying to help, and that these kind of cuts will not help.
Moving forward, if this proposed budget cut happens, what is that going to look like for y'all's relationship with the Brody School of Medicine? And I think you mentioned admissions and the impact there.
Well, we're surprised by this. It came yesterday, so we don't know the plans. We are highly committed to the 40-year relationship with the Brody School of Medicine, and so we are going to do everything we can to preserve that. We have significant cross leadership and cross ownership of the different services that we provide. So we're going to work through that and try to be good partners. And part of the governance questions that came earlier is, for the first time ever, we have self-imposed putting 2 leaders from ECU on our board. So the idea that we want to do anything to hurt Brody is disproved by the fact that we actually want the leadership of ECU in our boardroom to help us make the best decisions for Eastern North Carolina, because we think the people that live and work in Eastern North Carolina know the best thing for Eastern North Carolina, and who knows better what our company needs than our board.
When you were voicing your concerns about this to the decision makers, so to speak, did they give a reason why, or any kind of justification for a cut of that amount?
I think I would just, what's in the paper that I read today.
When you said that you've spoken with the leadership, what have they said about possible changes to that part of the budget now that they know that Vidant and the UNC system have entered into mediation?
I didn't say that. I talked to leadership first,
I'm sorry.
and
I
then
thought you said that there had been conversations.
well, with folks in the Senate and in the House, so not specifically leadership. I don't know. That's why it's surprising to us that at the same time we had this agreement and that this budget happened. So that seemed unusual. So we don't know. They could remove it if they know that now, and if they want to remove it from the budget, they could do so.
Okay, so you haven't had a chance to talk to Senator Brown or Senator Jackson or Senator?
Yeah, I personally haven't, but our teams, yes, we've been in conversation, yeah.
And they haven't said anything to your team about whether this is going to be removed or not, or what needs to happen for it to be removed?
If we thought it was going to be removed, we wouldn't be having a press conference. We don't have any indication that right now. We hope that they will do that, but we don't want to mobilize our voice in our communities if we thought that they were already going to do what we think is the right thing to do, which is remove it from the budget. So we have not been communicated with that is going to happen.
What is sort of the worst case scenario for Vidant if this continues?
If this budget cut goes through?
Yeah.
I mean, I think that it will, in addition to the other cuts that have been proposed, it will have a significant effect, and we will have to accommodate by adjusting the services that we provide and changing significantly what we do, and to accommodate, in total, over $75 million in cuts. I think it's important to understand that in this coming year, North Carolina is going through some of the most significant changes that it's ever had in healthcare, with the state health plan changes and Medicaid transformation. And so for us to be threatened with this additional cut on top of those other things, we will do what we always do, which is our management teams will come together to look at how do we do as best we can for our communities despite those realities.
What, like she was saying, worst case scenario, if all of these, cuts go through, what percentage of that does that make up of y'all's bottom line?
All of it.
How much is the 35 million? How much of that is your bottom line?
Of the cuts yesterday, essentially half.
Half of your bottom line. And so if you add the 38 million to that,
Last year, the CFO's back there, I mean, it's essentially our bottom line.
We have Carrie with Carolina Journal on the line. Did you have any questions, Carrie?
Yes, thank you for having me. I was wondering, you mentioned having conversations with Pitt County, obviously before changing the affiliation agreement with UNC Board. What kind of conversations did Vidant have with ECU before it made that move?
We had no conversations with the ECU, except the ECU members that are on our board.
So ECU was involved to some degree by affiliation of the board, but not directly.
We have ECU physicians that are part of the Brody School of Medicine on our board, so they were involved, but not. We did not meet with the leadership of ECU about these changes.
are the physicians voting members?
I appreciate that. And then one other question for you, and I apologize if any of this is kind of redundant on what's been talked about. I'm having a hard time kind of hearing. But with all of the pressure that's coming from the lawsuit and the Senate right now, has there been any discussion around reversing course on that affiliation agreement and giving the Board of Governors its appointments back? And if so, why not?
We are in process, so we made the right decision to build the best governance for our organization. I think all parties have agreed that in concept that is the case. And we are in process of considering options with the process that has been laid out through our legal teams. And so we have been open to discussing issues that we think need to be on the table, and we're believe that they have issues that need to be on the table, and we look forward to working collaboratively with them and hopeful that we all have the best interests of Vidant Health and the Brody School of Medicine and ECU in line as we make those determinations together.
Thank you so much. I appreciate you addressing my question.
No problem. Thank you.
And I think we also have Seth with the Triangle Business Journal. Seth, did you have any questions?
Yeah, just too, and like Terry mentioned, apologies if these are somewhat redundant or duplicating efforts. The first question I have is just kind of 75 million asked. Could you give me an idea what the kind of size that is to the scope of the operation there, size of total budget maybe?
Yes, so it would be approximately 3%.
Okay. And then the second thing, like I said, I'm not sure if someone has directly asked this or not, but as far as the restructuring of the board, could you kind of talk to me just about what do they consider most advantageous about the new structure as opposed to the historic structure? What was kind of the motivation behind that?
Well, it's called a self-perpetuating mechanism, and so having our board who meets frequently to look at the issues that affect our region and our company, it comes down to a simple reality. The best governance structure is to have the board that knows the company the best determine who the new board members should be, instead of a group of people that sometimes have never even been to Eastern North Carolina, much less understand the issues that we face. So it's as simple as that. Who knows best for our company but our board?
How many,
Absolutely. Those were both my questions. Thank you so much, Dr. Warren.
Thank you, Seth.
how many board members are not from Eastern North Carolina, like right now or in the past?
All of the current board members, I would say, have a significant connection to Eastern North Carolina. Carl Esther lives in Atlanta. We have some folks that have, which is our challenge, is sometimes having people that are willing to come from other communities. But we have, all of them have a significant relationship with Eastern North Carolina. Many of them were Board of Trustee members for ECU or are ECU grads. And so a lot of purple jerseys in our boardroom. And so they're committed to our organization and our partner in ECU.
And was Mr. Carl Lester, was he a UNC appointment or a Pitt County appointment?
Yeah, Carl Lester Crumpler, he lives in Atlanta, Georgia. He's a very active board member and a great leader. He flies in for our meetings. He was a UNC BOG designated board member.
I think also Bob Gretchen, who lives in Raleigh, is a past chairman of the board of ECU, and he was a BOG appointment, if I'm not mistaken. Is that
Yes,
Oh,
so,
who, I'm sorry.
yeah, we
Bob
could,
Gretchen was the past chair of ECU's board of trustees, and he sits on our board, and actually both boards, and he commutes from Raleigh to come to the meetings, and he's a very good administrator and has a great affinity for East Carolina. They would do nothing to ever vote for something that would hurt that relationship with Brody.
Any last questions? Any more questions? Okay, we appreciate your time.
thank you.
Thank you.
If you want my loving, if you really do, don't be afraid now, baby, just ask me. You know I'm gonna give it to you. Oh, and I do declare I do. I wanna see you with it. Stretch out your arms, little boy, you gonna
A red-hot 1970 LS6 Chevelle screams your way from the Brothers Collection. It's hard not to envision a bright red 1970 Chevelle when you hear the words muscle car. If ever there was a poster child for a muscle car, well, this one is probably it. I remember seeing cars like this 1970 Chevelle when I was a kid, and knowing even then that cars like it were special. I didn't know anything about the high compression 454 cubic inch LS6 V8, but I sure felt the rumble when one rolled past. 1970 Chevelle LS6 454s are like the playground bullies of the muscle car world. They're big and fast and powerful, and they have a 450 horsepower punch under the hood. It's no wonder everybody likes these cars. 1970 is often considered the peak year for the first generation of muscle cars, as the power numbers reach their highest just as emissions regulations, fuel changes, and insurance premiums clamp down on the fun for 1971. Hot Rod Magazine tested a 1970 LS6 Chevelle in their May of 1970 issue, and the first couple of paragraphs are all about the impending doom and gloom, about how federal emission standards and the removal of lead from the fuel will crush the performance of cars like this for the coming 1971 model year. They also bemoan the possibility of insurance premiums rising to amounts exceeding a third of the value of the car, and came right out and declared these cars all but dead because of these factors. At the same time, they relished their time with the car, as did we. In that 1970 article, writer John Diana, who was also my former boss, was able to ring out a 1334 at 108 mile an hour quarter-mile run on the stock tires in their test LS6 SS. They claimed they had to launch the car from a 900 RPM idle to get it to move without the tires going up in smoke, and we believe them. The 11 1/4 to 1 compression 454 produces a beastly 500 pound-feet of torque at just 3,600 RPM. The LS6 utilized a Holley carburetor and an aluminum intake manifold over the solid lifter camshaft and 1.7 ratio rocker arms. Header-like manifolds were okay, but the 454 appreciates headers and open exhaust. The Muncie M22 4-speed manual transmission relies on a heavy-duty clutch to stay up to speed with the LS6, and the 12-bolt rear axle is stuffed with 410 gears and a positraction differential to keep both wheels turning and the car pointing straight down the street, or strip, when it's time to stop messing around. This cranberry red and white 70 LS6 is showing less than 62,000 miles on the odometer. Heck, the original clock still works. And the bench seat 4-speed combo is classic street brawler. The Sonny and Cher tape? Not mine. Inside, the 70 Chevelle received a dash redesign with a new gauge layout. This car features the Rally Gauge upgrade to keep tabs on the underhood mayhem, and also an AM radio with an 8-track player to provide even more entertainment. A bench seat 4-speed combo is a classic sleeper move, but there's no sneaking around in a bright red and white LS6 Chevelle with SS stripes tattooed on the nose and deck. Everybody knows what this car's all about. White letter tires are stretched around 14-inch rally wheels, and the car rides on heavy-duty suspension with front and rear sway bars, boxed rear control arms, and stops with front disc brakes. For as much power as they make, these cars are quite comfortable and quiet to drive around. We welcome your feedback on this 70 Chevelle SS or any other cars we've featured from the Brothers Collection on our website or social media channels. And we'll be back with another awesome ride next time on Muscle Car of the Week.
I got to run to keep from hiding, and I'm bound to keep on riding. I got one more silver dollar, but I'm not gonna let them catch me, no. Not gonna let them catch the midnight rider. I don't own the clothes I'm wearing, and this road goes on forever. I got one more silver dollar, but I'm not gonna let them catch me, no. Not gonna let them catch the midnight rider. I've gone past the point of caring. Some more bed, but I'll soon be wearing. I got one more silver dollar, but I'm not gonna let them catch me, no. Not gonna let them catch the midnight rider. Oh, I'm not gonna let them catch me, no. Not gonna let them catch the midnight rider. No, I'm not gonna let them catch me, no. Not gonna let them catch the midnight rider. Thank you, thank you.
Here come old flat top, he come grooving up slowly. He got juju, I wrote me one holy roller. He got hair down to his knees. Got to be a joker, he just do what he please. Oh, he went on to shine, he got tall.
Hey! Marty, what are you doing?
Bye, Todd. Oh yeah. You know, I'm afraid if this thing works, I'm gonna need like an oh shit handle. That should probably go right about here. That is what I'm talking about. There you go. There's another Pelican kayak I am proud to put my name on. I'm also going to put a big motor on this thing, so I probably ought to rest up and take it easy for today. Tomorrow morning, though, game on. Alright guys, it is a new day and I think I'm finally ready to take out my new creation and see whether or not all these efforts have been for naught. In the middle of the night, before I went to bed last night, I rigged it all up. What do you think? I think I'm ready for a test run. I love that it fits in the kayak launch. That's convenient. Well, last night some of the other modifications I've done to this kayak was to extend the kill switch lanyard so that I can drive from way up front, and if I were to fall out, this will kill the motor. And then you can see here, attached to the extended tiller handle, is a Velcro equipped shift handle extension that goes all the way back here, and I can now shift from the seat, which is pretty important because you don't want all your weight in the back of this Catch 120, which is handling the weight of this 5-horse motor surprisingly well. But the real question is going to be, what does it do once we're underway? I think when I twist the throttle, it's going to start to jump up a little bit, and that's why the seat has the ability to slide forward so that when I'm underway I can ballast the boat. All these are theories so far. There's nothing left though but to put these theories to a test. Oh my gosh. Well guys, I gotta tell you, I think this is a successful build. This thing gets up and goes really fast. I timed myself on my GPS on my phone and it had me doing anywhere between 14 and 16 miles an hour, which is for a kayak, any kayak, or this Catch 120. That's an amazing feat. I'm really pleased with this build. I've been giddy for the past couple days building it. I'm really happy that you guys have come along and joined me on another crazy adventure. I appreciate you for watching, and for people like Tim who donated the camera that I recorded this video with, and for my friends at Pelican Kayaks for hooking me up over the years. I'm such a proud owner of a bunch of Pelican Kayaks. Coleman for giving me the motor. It really is a blessed life, and I'm happy beyond words to really share this type of stuff with you guys. Thank you for coming along with me. I mean, keep an eye out too. If you're new to this channel, hit the subscribe button or check out some of my older videos, because it's a real pleasure to play around the way that I do. And I plan on doing it again and again and again, as long as I can possibly do fun and foolish things. So, thank you guys. Let me get this rig back and, well, maybe get some fishing poles and go out and catch a couple somethings. See you later.
Told me long ago there's a calm before the storm. I know it's been coming for some time. When it's over, so to say, it'll rain a sunny day. I know, shining down like water. I wanna know, have you ever seen the rain? Well, I wanna know, have you ever seen the rain? Coming down on a sunny day. Yesterday, days before, sun is cold and rain is hard. I know, been that way for all my time, till forever on goes through the circle, fast and slow. I know it can't stop, I wonder. Well, I wanna know, have you ever seen the rain? Well, I wanna know, have you ever seen the rain? Coming down on the sunny day. Well, I wanna know, have you ever seen the rain? Well, I wanna know, have you ever seen the rain? Coming down on a sunny day.
Thank you very much. Appreciate you hanging out with me. I'll see you guys next time. Make sure you follow Dean Heckle Music on Facebook.
When your baby leaves you all alone and nobody calls you on the phone, and don't you feel like crying? Don't you feel like crying? Well, here I am, honey. Come on, cry to me. When you're all lonely, yeah, in your lonely room, and there's nothing but the smell of her perfume, and don't you feel like crying? Don't you feel like crying? Well, here I am, honey. Come on, cry to me. Oh, nothing could be sweeter than a glass of wine alone. Loneliness is such a waste of time. Oh, yeah. You'll never get to walk alone till you see. Well, come on, take my hand, and baby, won't you walk with me? Whoa, yeah. When you're waiting again? Don't you feel like crying? Well, here I am, honey. Come on, cry to me. Well, here I am, honey. Come on, cry to me. Well, here I am, honey. Come on, cry to me.
Hey guys, this is Ross at Avalanche Motorsports in Washington, North Carolina. And today we're doing our review of the flagship of the Seafox fleet, the Seafox 328 Commander. Come on, let's go take a look. Okay guys, the first thing that I want to show you on this Seafox is the massive Carolina flare that it has. Makes this boat a super dry ride. Going over a few quick measurements, the boat measures exactly 32 feet long. It has a 10-foot 8-inch beam and a dead rise of 22.5 degrees. This is a offshore machine that's capable for anything that you want to throw at. Okay, moving on, we want to talk a little bit about the hull of the Seafox. First of all Seafoxes are built in Moncks Corner, South Carolina. These boats aren't just designed, but they're engineered to be safe and last a lifetime. That's why Seafox was one of the first boat manufacturers out there to offer a lifetime hull warranty. There's no wood in this boat, which means there's not going to be any type of rot. Seafox utilizes high quality 316 stainless steel through hull fittings, and the 328 boasts the notch hull back design, which will give you the best performance possible. Now, at the back of the boat, Seafox has integrated a dive door. And what makes Seafox different from a lot of boat builders is a lot of boat builders will design a hull and then cut a hole in it and put a door. Seafox designs the hull around the door so you have lots of structure and backing in there to assure that you don't run into spider cracking and issues like that down the road. Moving to the back of the boat here, we see this boat is powered with twin Yamaha digital 300s. Max horsepower on this boat is 700, so you could do 350s. This boat as it sits is about a 52, 53 mile an hour boat, with the 350s 57 mile an hour boat. Back here you have a lot of attention to detail and design. Seafox recesses all of their trim tabs on all their boats from 22 feet and up. And here you have your built-in integrated dive ladder so you can get on and off easy. This is where I want to spend all my time at when I'm on this boat, is back here in the area. Seafox is famous for having a boat that's extremely comfortable to have the family thing going on in the front and fishing in the back, and this just tells the tale. Back here you have a big comfortable bench seat, but with the flip of a lever you've got a full combing device that you can lean up to and really get into the fish with. You have two large pressurized bait wells. Keep your bait living for a long time and easy to get to, with an aquarium style live well over here as well. Now, down by your dive door, you have an insulated cooler box, which is nice. You can throw some drinks and water in there when you're going swimming. And then when you're ready to pull the big fish in, you've got 4 large macerated fish boxes here. With a total of 36 rod holders on this boat, Seafox definitely made this boat for the fishermen. All right, back here is the bait prep station. As you can see, this was really well thought out. You've got a flat area here, but you flip this over, you've got a cutting board. You have an area where you can keep your bait once it's all prepped and set up. You also have a sink here with a freshwater wash down as well. Then underneath, they did a really good job utilizing this space. All you have to do is press a button and you've got easy access to your Yeti cooler. When you start opening compartments in this Seafox 328 Commander, you can tell that this boat was made for the angler. You have a really nice tackle station with drawers and line set up. Storage all through this center console area, and raw water wash down on this side and another fresh water wash down over on the starboard side. Okay guys, in the helm area, the first thing that you'll notice are these 3 comfortable race boat inspired LeBrock seats. There's several different armrest configurations and setups for using this as a leaning post or just cruising, with several areas to put your seat. If you can't get comfortable in this helm, then you can't get comfortable. Moving up to the hardtop, this has a ton of storage in it. You have storage to the rear and up front. You have an acrylic glass panel here so you can mount a VHF radio. And when it comes to climate control in this boat features freshwater misters here and back here, and also has air conditioning that actually comes out of the console area and will keep you cool on those August days. Okay, touching some more on the helm area. Everything is very smartly laid out already from Seafox. You've got 2 huge Garmin 7616 GPS units in here that'll provide you with medium, high chirp, fish finder, depth finder, everything you need to get on the fish and know where you're going. You got a smart switch panel down here that has everything you need access to. You have your Yamaha control center, EPS, and JL audio, all within hand's reach. Also, this boat comes standard with the Lenco trim tabs with the LED indicator, so you always know where your trim tabs are. Also, something that I like about the 328 is you have battery switches right here, easy to get to. You're never going to hop in your boat and have forgotten to turn on your battery switches. Okay guys, as you can see here, the bow area has a ton of room. It is fishing friendly. However, all you have to do is snap in a few cushions and you've got a bow area for the most discerning of pleasure boaters. Look at this. You've got beautiful diamond stitching, super comfortable bow seating area, and with these snap back cushions, you can face forward or you can facing backwards and have a nice conversation here, have your wine and cheese. It's all good to go. My favorite spot on the boat was back there in the bait area. This is my second favorite spot of the boat. Up front, beautiful view, and believe it or not, even in rough water, this seat ride's good. Circling back around to this T-top, one thing that Seafox does is they build all of their T-tops in-house. This T-top is fabricated for this boat. It's not an afterthought. It's not something that's subbed out to a different company. This is a Seafox boat with a Seafox top on it. You've got integrated lights all the way around. You have awesome storage for fire extinguishers and Coast Guard safety equipment. You have your freshwater mister system, and you have brackets preset for taco outriggers. So all you have to do is basically bolt them up and they're ready to go. Guys, for those of you who know me, I'm not a small guy. Seafox does a great job of making plenty of walk around room around here. You can get easy access to any one of the 36 rod holders that are on this boat. And it's really set up for fishing. You have the ability to fish this boat anywhere that you want all the way around. I want you to take a look at the size of this console in this Seafox 328 Commander. You have an electric flushing head with overboard discharge. You have a large berth, and Seafox even air conditions this console. That's right, you have air conditioner control that will allow you to control the temperature in here. Super clean layout. You've got your amplifiers for your JL audio sound system here. You have access to all your breakers, circuits, and switches, and then access to the back to get to your electronics. This was really well thought out and super useful. So ladies and gentlemen, in closing, if you're looking for a fishing machine that's capable of taking you anywhere you want to go, catching all the fish, but without sacrificing any type of luxury or comfort, you need to put the Seafox 328 Commander on your short list. And at Avalanche Motorsports, it costs less too.
Thanks for watching our video. If this information was helpful to you, click the like button and check out our inventory on avalanche-motors.com.
sing all the tune. Would you stand up and walk out on me? Lend me your ears and I'll sing you a song. I will try not to sing a key. Oh, baby, now I keep out with a little help from my friends. Oh, I just wanna keep on trying with a little help from my friends. Oh, I just wanna keep out with a little help from my friends. What do I do when my love is away? It don't worry me to be all alone. Oh no. How do I feel at the end of the day? I'm not sad, 'cause I'm on my own. I don't get sad, baby. Oh, I give out a little help from my friends. Oh, I just wanna keep on trying with a little help from my friends. Oh, I just wanna keep out with a little help from my friends. Do you need anybody? Oh, I need somebody to love. Could it be anybody? All I need is someone. Lord, I need someone. Oh, I give out a little help from my bed. Oh, I just wanna give out a little help from my bed. Oh, I just wanna give out a little help from my bed. Would you believe in a love at first sight? Well, I'm certain that it happens all the time. What do I see when I turn out the lights? I don't see too much, but I know that it's fine. Oh, my bed, I give back a little bit of my friends. Oh, I just wanna keep on trying to little help from my friends. Oh, I just wanna keep out the little help from my friends. Do you need anybody? I need somebody to love. Could it be anybody? All I need is someone. All I need is someone. Yeah, yeah, to give out a little help for my friends. Oh, I just wanna keep trying a little help for my friends. Oh, I just wanna give out a little help for my friends. Thank you, thank you.
If you want my loving, if you really do, don't be afraid. I love you. Baby, 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 there ain't no doubt about it, baby, I love you. Baby, 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 I love you, I love you, I love you, baby, I love you. For many years, but maybe I am just not enough. You showed me my deepest fears by lying and tearing us up. Though you can say I'm crazy, 'cause you don't think I know what you've done. When you call me baby, I know I'm not the only one.
Ford said if you need a past, get a Mach 1. In aviation, the term Mach 1 refers to the speed of sound, and because that speed changes depending on altitude, temperature, and air density, Mach 1 is actually a ratio that represents the speed rather than the exact mile or kilometer per hour speed rating. The faster you go, the higher the Mach number. When retired U.S. Air Force General and test pilot Chuck Yeager became the first human to travel faster than the speed of sound back in 1947, well, he went for quite a ride, as the Bell X-1 experimental aircraft shook violently as he approached Mach 1, but smoothed out as he rocketed through the sound barrier to Mach 1.06. This Mach 1 is the fanciest of the various Mustang packages available for 1969, and it features the brutal 428 Cobra Jet V8 with ram air induction, and it's also quite a ride. Many people think the 69 Mach 1 Mustang is one of the best looking muscle cars ever made, including this guy. And this one's pretty wild. It's got its original 428 under the hood and numbers matching driveline. And I've never been there, but Acapulco blue sure looks nice. Mustangs have always been available in various flavors, and the Mach 1 arrived on the scene in 1969 to give buyers a Mustang that delivered comfort and style in addition to high performance. Mach 1s are easily recognizable with their exterior appearance package consisting of a blacked out hood, sport slats, and a rear wing, 4 exhaust tips, and reflective stripe package. They came with the 351 V8 as the base power plant, but when you ordered one with a 428 Cobra Jet V8, well, you got the best of both worlds. The 428 Cobra Jet is a 335 horsepower rocking machine making 440 pound-feet of torque. And although this is the original engine and transmission, it's been rebuilt and freshened up a bit, which is kind of unusual. The car's only got 56,000 miles on it, which tells you that somebody had some fun with this one. The red MSD ignition box, plug wires, coil, and distributor add some performance and reliability at the expense of looking 100% original, but don't worry, we won't tell anyone. The 428 Cobra Jet V8 featured a cast crank and pistons with a 10.6-to-1 compression ratio and an advertised power rating of 335 horsepower and 445 pound-feet of torque. Numbers that didn't seem to be accurate when they were originally published. In fact, Ford advertised the 1969 Thunderbird as being more powerful than the CJ Mustang, despite a more restrictive intake, a smaller carb, and a sleepy camshaft. Well, it turns out that the horsepower rating was deflated a bit so that the Cobra Jet Mustangs fared better in NHRA racing. Back then, The NHRA used the advertised power ratings to class the cars, and the lower power meant less competition for the Mustang. But the cat was out of the bag once these big Mustangs started laying down high 13-second quarter-mile passes right off the showroom floor, so the NHRA reclassified the cars into a higher horsepower class. But those advertised power numbers, well, they stuck. The Mach 1 driver enjoys an upgraded interior space in addition to the added style outside the car, complete with comfort weave bucket seats, wood grain dash trim, and 1969 only red footwell inserts in the black carpeting. This car features an automatic C6 transmission and an AM/FM radio for more fun. Ford called the steering wheel wood-like, and the dual outside mirrors help you see who you just beat. This car is an R-code model, which in 1969 refers to the air intake system. The shaker hood scoop is functional. Ford called it the ram air induction, and it provided a breath of fresh outside air for more power. Out back, this one spins a 9-inch rear axle equipped with 325-to-1 rear gears and a limited slip differential. That 325 is a great gear ratio for highway cruising that still accelerates quickly thanks to the torque of the Cobra Jet. Mach 1s came with 14 by 6-inch steel rally wheels and white letter tires, which quickly turned into white tire smoke when the Cobra Jet took off. In dry air at 68 degrees Fahrenheit, Mach 1 equals 767 miles per hour. We know our 69 Cobra Jet here can haul the mail, but can it reach true Mach 1? Well, that might be a bit of a stretch. If you've seen our show before, you know that this is the time when we usually say something about the car and then invite you to come check out our YouTube channel or Facebook page, maybe even the website. Well, this time, we're just asking you to sit through one more shot of this sweet Mach 1 from the Brothers Collection.
For every heart that's broken, there's a bottle flowing and a jukebox going in the dark. We all stumble in here for the same different reason. Yeah, somebody got left, somebody did the leaving. You're either sad that it's done or you're happy that it's good and gone. But we all know hanging over should be so hell out of hanging on. For every heart that's broken, there's a bottle flowing and a jukebox going in the dark. When you're feeling low and need some place to go, for every heart that's broken, there's a bar that's open. If somebody told you they could use a little break, or you ran in here out of there 'cause you need space. If you're sipping or double fisting 'cause things didn't turn out right, well, lucky you, here's a bar stool where the neon stays on all night. For every heart that's broken, there's a bottle flowing and a jukebox going in the dark. When you're feeling low and need some place to go, for every heart that's broken, there's a bar for every heart that's broken. Fill me up that bartender. Whatever that is. I must have been through about 1,000,000 boys. I'd love them, then I'd leave them alone. And I never cared when they cried, no sir. Their tears left me cold as a stone. But then I fooled around and fell in love. Oh, I fooled around and fell in love. I fooled around and fell in love. Oh, I fooled around and fell in love. It used to be that when I saw a boy I liked, I'd take out my book and write down his name. But when the grass got a little greener on the other side, I just tear out that page. Oh, I fooled around and fell in love. Oh, I fooled around and fell in love. I fooled around and fell in love. Oh, I fooled around and fell in love. Free and on my own, the way I used to be. But since I met you, baby, love's got a hold on me. Love's got a hold on me. Love's got a hold. Love's got a hold on me. Yeah, yeah, yeah. I fool around. I fool around. I fool around. I fool around. I fool around all day. Yeah. Say If you want my loving, if you really do, don't be afraid. Now, baby, just ask me. You know I'm gonna give it to you. Oh, and I do declare I wanna see you with it. Stretch out your arms, little boy, you gonna get it. 'Cause I love you. Baby, 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 there ain't no doubt about it, baby, I love you.
Hey guys, this is Ross with Avalanche Motorsports in Washington, North Carolina, and today we're bringing the boat show to you. We're going to talk about the new Seafox 248 Commander. Seafox did a great job of upgrading the already awesome 246 Commander, and we're going to talk about those upgrades today. First thing that we're going to show you today is on the 248, Seafox put the through-hull anchor pulpit with chafing plate, so you can set up a windlass system or you can just hang your front anchor off of here. Now, Seafox does a great job with this boat. If you look on this boat, the dead rise on this boat is 18 degrees, but it only drafts 14 inches. So you're getting a hull design that can really handle it all, whether you're going out in the ocean, you're chasing fish, or if you're doing sandbar cruising, or really anything in between, this design can do it all. Seafox is famous for this huge Carolina flare that's on the front of this boat. And not only does it look good, but it serves a purpose. This big Carolina flare is going to keep you dry if you're riding through some pretty rough water or chop or things like that. And it just makes the ride of this boat phenomenal. On this Seafox, the color combination that we chose for this boat was the jetty gray side hull color with the matching powder coating on your leaning post and your T-top. Seafox does a great job of offering a lot of different color combinations and also different setups for where you can put the color on the boat, so you can really make it a boat that's your boat and designed for you. Moving along to the back here, you've got a big swim platform with the faux teak, which feels really nice on your feet, swim ladder, and this boat's equipped with the Yamaha XB250 motor. This is a 4.2 liter. It's built on the same block as the 300, and the reason why we ordered this boat with this 250 is because performance-wise, it's 53 mile an hour machine. It's going to get great fuel economy compared to previous designs, and it's going to get you up on plane fast, super dependable, and super quiet. Now, where Seafox really upgraded this boat on the new 248 compared to the 246 was back here in the back. They just did a great job with this layout. You've got a 3 safety system pass-through seat, so little Billy doesn't fall through the back of it when you're getting ready to take the kids out for wakeboarding. You got a deep box here that you can put ice, any type of storage, access so you can get to it from the back of the boat. And the fishermen are going to love this setup back here with your fresh water and your raw water washdown. This is a new design from Seafox. You have your access there for your fresh water with the hose, and then over here you have your access for your raw water so you can get that blood off the boat when you start pulling the fish in. Now, moving on to the back here, you got your ski tow bar. That's removable, but it's a great option to have for a boat that functions as family boat and fishing boat. And then you've got storage for your net. Now, why are you going to need that net there? Well, I'm going to tell you why you're going to need that net there. You're going to need the net here to get the fish out of your pressurized aquarium style live well, which is an awesome upgrade that Seafox did to the previous 246 Commander. Now, the area that you lost in the 246 by having your pressurized live well here, you actually gain over here with the new fish box. It's got a nice fish box. It's got storage past this point so you can really get some big fish down in there. Okay, now moving forward, we're gonna go to the helm area for the cockpit. And this boat just shines with all the things that they've done to it. We're gonna start with this console. A couple of changes that they made. They made the windshield a little bit bigger so you've got more protection for whatever type of fishing or adventures that you go on with this boat. Also,
you see all your switches have been mounted low, and what that does is that clears up a ton of console space, so you could essentially put two 12-inch screens in this boat and you've got a really, really nice rig. We are full Simrad, Raymarine, and Garmin dealer. We can hook you up with whatever you want, and if you buy the boat from us, we put them in for free. Moving forward up here, this top is awesome. This thing has a ton of storage and functionality. You've got box here, box here, box here, and a box back here. Sunroof, mister pumps. Everybody's been out on the boat when it's 102 degrees and the wind's not blowing and the baby's crying, and you got to have the mister pumps because it's going to blow out a cool mist out of this area, out of your freshwater tank. Now, for the fishermen are going to love the rod holder storage on this. You've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 rod holders just in this area, not to mention the 2 that are on each side of the boat and the 2 that are in the back. The top is set up, ready to go. If you want to rig your outriggers up here, we can certainly do that for you. And just a ton of storage, light, and protection from this console. Another thing that I really like of what Seafox has done is they've made this leaning post more low profile, so you've got more floor space to move around the boat, but you're not sacrificing comfort. When you're back in this area, I've got a good solid leaning post. I've got 2 positions that I can put my feet there. I also have a bar down here that I can put my feet, and then when I'm ready to cruise, just move that down and I'm good to go, and I've got a really, really comfortable ride. Pair that up with the tilt steering wheel, and man, you've got an awesome setup here. In your center console, when you get the hardtop, you automatically get the Kicker sound system with all the speakers that we'll show you later. You have all your accessory switches, including underwater LED lights, mood lights, freshwater, washdown pump, aerator pump, bilge pump, etc. On this boat comes standard with your trim tab, so you have your switches there for that, and then of course your Yamaha gauges. Moving down, here is your battery cutoff. You don't have to worry about going and hunting and getting in a hole to turn your batteries on and off. This boat is pre-rigged with 2 batteries. Here you've got 12 volt and USB charging area that you can hook that up and play music through your phone. Down here, these footrests, they are lit and they look awesome at night. Now, ladies and gentlemen, you may have noticed I haven't missed very many meals. I eat my Wheaties and take my vitamins, and I'm a big dude, and I can still sit in this console. Got a porta potty. There is the option for an electric toilet if that's something that you wanted to do as well, but this console has got tons of room. And with the Seafox, you know, this boat's going to have a lot of cushions in it. You're going to have a lot of cushions for when you want to ride the family in this boat, and I can tell you every cushion and accessory fits in this center console, which is really nice for storage. Also on the console door, you see this is locking, so you do have some lockable storage in here. And then Seafox made this a twin hinge design. It's got a magnet in there, so it's really easy to open and close this door. And you've also got a Seafox bottle opener for any non-adult beverages. Moving forward to the front here, on this T-top, man, this T-top is just awesome. Fire extinguisher storage, it's a great place to put it. It's out of the way, but you can get to it quick. You also have spreader lights on this top. You have one here on the front, you have 2 aft, and then you have 1 on each side. In the hard top, you've got speakers mounted, you've got speakers down here in the floor. I mean, this is just a really awesome setup that Seafox has done with this boat. Now, Seafox has always been family in the front and fishing in the back. And with this design, that still holds true, but it kind of defines that as well. You see, you've got a full sun pad up here, as well as Seafox did something really cool with their combing boards. On the 266 Commander, they took that design, and your combing board actually folds back into a backrest, so you can face forward, or you can face back, or you can have one of each, and you can have a conversation. Now, why I say this also defies a little bit of that family in the front, fishing in the back mentality, is because once you remove this pad, you can use this as a casting platform if you're fishing off the front of the boat as well. The design on this was just really, really well thought out, and it shows. You've got the scallop seating up front. This will actually go up and you put a pole in and you have a table for the front. Down here in this storage, you have storage for a full bucket that you can put a cast net in or anything else like that. And then you still got your dual front seats here up front. So as far as if you're trying to have fun, or if you're trying to fish, or if you're trying both, this boat's got you covered. In closing, if you can't decide if you want a fishing boat or if you want a fun family boat, this is definitely a boat you need to look at, guys, because this thing does it all, and it does it all better than anybody else. And at Avalanche Motorsports, it costs less too.
These arms of mine, they are lonely, lonely and feeling blue. These arms of mine, they are yearning, yearning to hold you. And if you would let them hold you, oh, how grateful I will be. These arms of mine, they are burning. Oh, they are burning from wanting you. These arms of mine, they are wanting. Oh, wanting, wanting to hold you. And if you would let them hold you, oh, how grateful I will be. Come on, baby. Just be my little woman. Just be my lover. Oh, I need me somebody to treat me right. And I need your tender lips. Oh, yeah, these arms of take her to heart, she'll always love you, and nobody can make her do wrong, take her for granted, leaving love unshown. Makes willpower weak, temptation strong.
Oh, a woman's only human.
Come on now.
flesh and blood just like a man.
If you wanna do right, all days, woman.
Oh, you got to be a do-right all night man. Oh, they say that it's a man's world, but they can't tell that by me. Oh, but as long as we're together, baby, show some respect for me. Oh,
If you wanna do right, all days, woman.
a woman, you got to be a do-right all night man. Yeah.
Tell them about it again.
Oh, woman's only human, and this you should understand. She's not just a plaything, she's flesh and blood, just like a man.
If you wanna do right, all days, woman.
You got to be a do-right all night man. You got to be a do-right all night man.
That was so good. You sang your butt off.
Fender gills, Hemi shaker, and no top? A bright yellow and white 1970 Plymouth Cuda convertible, powered by the legendary 426 Hemi V8. Truly a fantasy machine for just about every red-blooded gearhead, Plymouth fan or not. Only 11 were built with the 426 Hemi, and it's important to note that just 374 1971 Cuda convertibles were produced in total, so they're pretty rare no matter what engine is under the hood. This combination of an angry Hemi in a summertime fun drop-top Cuda might seem like a mismatch, but that's part of the mystique of these cars. The 71 Cuda was revised a tad with an updated grille featuring vertical slats and 4 headlights. Round fog lights mount below the painted bumper, and the grille surround is argent silver. Hood pins keep the monster under wraps at high speed. This Hemi got the shaker hood scoop, which was painted argent silver. 4 new gills were added to the fenders, adding a speedier look to the already slick Cuda design. The long, slit-like fender marker lights are a cool touch, and out back, the Hemi Cuda received a new taillight design with a larger inboard reverse light amid a satin black rear panel, and the tight-fitting bumper sits above the twin exhaust tips poking through the lower valance panel. With the power top down, our 71 almost looks like a peeled banana, with its lemon twist yellow exterior and white high-back bucket seat interior. The dash is stuffed with the Rally Gauge package, and the AM/FM radio features the unusual optional tape recorder. This allowed you to record your favorite tunes off the radio, or use the microphone to dictate your thoughts as you drop the hammer on 425 horsepower and 490 pound-feet of torque. 15x7-inch rally wheels spin the Goodyear Polyglass GTs into a smoky memory when the Hemi does its thing, and the driver can keep both hands on the wheel thanks to the 727 automatic 3-speed transmission. The shaker hood scoop provides additional entertainment as it struggles to hang on to the dual quad 426 when the going gets tough. It's no surprise that Hemi Cuda convertibles are surrounded by stories, whether they're street racing myths or mind-blowing tales from the auction. In fact, some people blame this very car for starting the stratospheric rise in value that these cars enjoy today. Yeah, it's true that nearly every conversation about a Hemi Cuda convertible eventually turns to market values for these cars. This car reportedly sold in the 1980s for around $54,000, a sum that seems tiny today, but set a high standard for muscle cars at the time. And once that happened, all the other Hemi Cuda convertibles doubled or tripled in value right along with it. But this car proved that desirable muscle cars had significant monetary value as well as intrinsic and sentimental importance. Watch one roll across an auction block today and be prepared for seven-figure action, further validating the number 426 as a winner on the track and in the investment portfolio. But, of course, there are those who cry that the astronomical values of these cars have ruined the hobby for us regular Joes who could never get our working class mitts on one. And to that, I say, well, hogwash. I mean, let's consider the alternative. Where are all the 1981 Pontiac J2000s today? I'll tell you. They're in landfills. Those cars never achieved any sort of collector status or significant value, so they didn't survive. And there are no restoration parts or enthusiast media dedicated to them. I mean, they're just gone. On the other hand, the high demand and value of these cars ensures that they will never be discarded as old scrap metal, which helps keep the interest level up for all classic and muscle cars. If there ever becomes a time when the popularity and value of cool muscle cars plummets, well, then we're all in trouble. I'm always excited by more car TV shows, more events and auctions and whatnot, because it shows the interest and the marketability of our enthusiast cars remain strong. And that ensures that the parts manufacturers, the restoration shops, media outlets, and retailers all stay in business, and us regular Joes can continue to play with our own rides. Sure, I can't afford a Hemi Cuda, but without them, the lower-level cars I can afford would have already been deemed worthless and have been recycled into replacement parts for shiny new hybrids. And that is not cool. Okay, rant over. While many people question the 426 in a convertible as a viable drag car, it's not as if all these cars were sold to go racing in the first place. And what's wrong with wanting a clear view of the sky as you blast to a tire-spinning low 13-second quarter-mile time? Nothing, my friends. Nothing. If this car looks familiar, it might be because it was the inspiration for the Cuda convertible used in the Nash Bridges TV show. Well, now it can say it was on Muscle Car of the Week, too. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you next time. What'd you say?